For Imran Richards, growing up in his family environment seemed to have his future all mapped out.
I had an uncle, and he was addicted to drugs, and he spent most of his life pursuing criminal activity, and as such he would go out, commit felonies, breaking and entering. When he would come back home around 3, 4 in the morning, sometimes he would knock on my door and he would bring a whole set of money and ask me to stash it for him. Growing up in such an environment, I immediately started to gravitate toward that.
By 8 years old, Imran was experimenting with cigarettes, and it was just a matter of time before he was pressured to try the hard stuff.
Around the age of 11, I graduated toward marijuana. There was a guy in the community. He would constantly pressure me. I'm not sure if it was because of the position of my uncle or what, but it seems that he already had a destiny charted for my life. And the thing I always say to people is that if you don't have a vision for yourself, then someone else will have a vision for you. And he would continually pressure me. And hey, Imran, you know, come smoke this joint. And so one day I was coming home from primary school. It was just about 11, as I said. And he called me and he was like, Imran, hey, what's going on, man? And so I went over. And he was like, you know, like, Imran, you can smoke on me, you can smoke on me, And after a while of doing that, I said, you know what? Hey, just go for it, Imran, you know. And I sat with him. That is where he smoked my first marijuana joint. You know, the thing is that I didn't find it all that exciting. Yes, it gave me a high, but to maintain that, and I found that the pressure to maintain that became more and more, because my friends were now expecting me to produce the drugs. Everyone in my community were looking at Imran as, you know, someone who's going to come up as like a future uncle kind of, you know, personality. And so there was almost this expectation from my friends and the guys on the block and the different ones that I went to school with, you know, that Imran was the cool guy, Imran was the guy who had the drugs. And so that pressure on me sustained me in a place of, you know, doing it.
But while he tried to keep up his cool image, Imran knew the truth. His life was spiraling out of control.
I started to really lose grades in school. My grades started to drop significantly. So it's moved from coming first in class to coming like second last and falling way behind. My family environment was affected because I started to steal from my grandparents. I started to steal from my aunts and my uncles just to begin to be able to support the habit. Yeah, I started to get involved in gang violence. There were people who were actually looking to take my life out. As a result of that, I was expelled from school. I left school with 2 CXCs. What I realized is that my friends were not accepting me for who I was, but who I was pretending to be. Yeah, and because at night when I would go home and I would lay down on my bed, I would like, Imran, like, you know that there's more to your life than this. There's more value to your life than this. And so the thing that started off gaining me a lot of friends, the thing that started off looking very cool and had me becoming very popular, became the very thing that enslaved me. Yeah, and I found that as I reflected on my life, just looking back on it in retrospect, that it wasn't just the marijuana that addicted me. It was the mindset that I carried, that I needed to do this to be accepted in society.
Then that day came. Imran wanted to find a way out. He realized that he was facing jail or death square in the face. In his case, the story had a happy ending.
One day, a police guy, as I'm pondering on all this stuff, a policeman who lived in the community, he called me up and he goes, Imran, I want to invite you out to dinner with my family and I found it a bit strange, but I was like, okay, sure, fine. You know, we don't have anything in common. You're a police, I'm a gangster. You know, nevertheless, I said, okay, fine. As things began to progress during the week, he called me a little bit later that week and he said, Imran, you know, well, if you're coming to dinner with me, it'll be easier for you to come to church, so you just have to do one pickup and we just go one time. And I said, surely this guy is trying to set me up. No, I'm not sure what's up here. But I found myself saying yes again. And as soon as I got to church, I just felt what was like the presence of God like come over me, you know. And so whenever I share my story, that has to be an integral part, you know, because it was a huge part of my experience. It was real for me, and that is what helped to really push me toward that place of positive change, moving from a negative to a positive. I would say though, along with that, definitely as I began to progress and to be able to be sustained in that place now where I was seeking my development and steering away from negative influences, that there needed to be that resolve. There needed to be a confidence about who I am, to say, you know what, Imran, this is who you are. You need not be ashamed of it. If people don't accept you for that, then they're not genuinely your friend. And you don't need those type of individuals in my life. And so for me, I found that being able to solidify my character, being able to accept myself for who I was, to feel comfortable in my own skin, to say, hey, Imran, these are your values. So what if other people don't feel them? So what if other people don't agree with them? So what if they don't want to befriend you for that? You're special anyway. Yeah, and so starting to just look into the mirror and say, Imran, you are handsome. You are going to be great. There is something special about you. You are worth something. That helped to solidify me.